Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to a brand new video. So here we are going to start the topic. There are more to the conversation, but the result was within 10 minutes they had invited Hayakawa whom they initially may have suspected was a Japanese spy to visit them sometime in their society and have dinner with them in their house, and all because of these brilliant scholars admitted common and unoriginal small talks. Top communicators know the most soothing and appropriate first words should be like Senator Hawakawa was unoriginal, even banal, but not indifferent. Hawakawa delivered his sentiments with sincerity and passion. Aside from banality, it is not necessary, of course, twisted with mundane remarks. If you find your company displays cleverness or with you match that the conversation that escalates naturally compatibly. Don't rush it or like the mentions you seem like you are showing off. The bottom line on your first words is to have the courage of your own genius, because remember, some people tune into your tone more than your text. Anything except liver back to Dorothy, watching uh, back to Dorothy, waiting for her sandwich at her desk. Sometimes, as I walk out of the door, scratching my head, wondering what to bring her, she would call after me anything except liver hours. That is thanks, Dottie. That's a little dip of health. Here's my anything except liver hours on small talk. Anything you say is fine as long as it is not complaining, rude, or technique 11. Proceed with passion. Worried about your first words? Fear not, because 80% of your listeners' impression has nothing to do with your words anyway. Almost anything you say at first is fine, no matter how prosaic the text. An empathetic mood, a positive demeanor, positive demeanor, and passionate delivery make you sound exciting. How to sound like you have got a super personality 55. Unpleasant if the first words out of your mouth are a complaint, blame people, label you a complainer. Why? Because that complaint is your new acquaintances, 100% sampling of you so far. You could be the happiest Pollyanna ever, but how will they know if your first comment is a complaint? You are a gripper. So what does the gripper mean? We'll search it on Google. Gripper means complain about something in irritating way. If your first words are rude, you are a creep. If your first words are unpleasant, you are a stinker. What is stinker mean? Stinker means a person or thing that smells very bad. Okay, so Brilliant, shut up. Other than this, downers, anything goes. Ask them where they are from. how they know the host of the party, where they bought the lovely suit they are wearing, or hundreds of its chairs. The trick is to ask your project question with passion to get the other person talking. You still feel a little, you still feel a bit of shaky on making the approach to the strangers. Let's take a quick detour on our road to meaningful communicating. I will give you three quick techniques to meet our people at parties, then nine more to make small talk or so small talk, not so small talk. How to make people want to start a conversation with you. Single proficient, single proficient at meeting potential suitors with the benefit of introduction have developed a deliciously devious technique that works equally well for society or corporate networking purposes. The technique requires no exceptional skills on your part, only the courage to spot the sample visual prop called a what whiz. What a what whiz. Let me search it. What is what is informal? Anything the name of which is not known or cannot be remembered. A hobby is anything you or carry that is unusual, unique, or an amazing hat and interesting birds a strange time. A what is any object that draws people's attention and inspires them to approach you and ask, "Oh, what's that?" Your what this can be a subtle or what as your personality and the occasion permit. I wear my neck an outmoded pair of glasses that resembles a double monocle. Often the curious have approached a gathering but asked what is it. I explain it's a large, large net left to me by my grandmother, which is which of course paves the way to discuss hatred of glasses, aging, eyes, love or loss of grandmother's adoration of antique jewelry. Anywhere the inquisitor wants to take it, perhaps unwillingly you have fallen prey to this soon to be legendary technique at a gathering. Have you ever noticed how to make people have a conversation with you? Someone you would like to talk to. Then you have racked your brain to conjure an excuse to make the approach. What a bounty it was to discover that he or she was wearing some weird, wild, or wonderful something you could comment on. Now what's it over to love? Your what it is a social aid, whether you seek business rewards or new romance. My friend Alexander Greek who carries Greek Ori beats with him wherever he goes. He's not worried. He knows any man who wants to talk to him will come up and say, "What's that? Think about it, gentlemen. Suppose you are a say party, an attractive man spots you across the room. She wants to talk to you, but she's thinking, well, mister, you are attractive, but slowly, what can I say to you? You just ain't gone know what's it. Be a what's it seeker." Likewise, become proficient in scrutinizing the appeal of those you wish to approach. Why not express interest in handkerchief in the tricon's vest pocket, the brooch on the bosom of the rich divorcee, or the skull ring on the finger of the CEO whose company you want to work for, the big spender who you suspect might buy 100 of your widgets, has a tiny golf club level ping. Say I couldn't help but notice your attractive lapel pin. Are you a golfer? Me too. What courses have you played? Your business cards and with hobbies are crucial socializing artifacts, whether you are riding in the elevator, climbing the doorstep, or traversing the path to the party. Make sure your what's is hanging out for all to see. Always wear a hot. It is technique number 12. Whenever you go to a gathering, wear or carry something unusual to give people find you the delightful stranger across the crowd room and excuse to approach. Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice your what is that? The next quickie technique was originated by doubly determined politicians who don't let one particular escape if they think he or she could be helpful to their campaigns. I call it the who's that technique. How to meet people you want to meet. Say you have scrutinized the body of the important business contact you want to meet. You have reached in vain from the top of his cowlick to the toes of his boots. He is not sporting in a single what's. If you strike out on finding something to comment on, resort to the who's that technique. Never be at a loss for of the words again. Like persistent politician, go to the party giver and say that man over there looks interesting. Who is she or he? Then ask an introduction. Don't be hesitant. The party giver will be pleased you find one of the guests interesting. However, you are loath to pull the party giver away from his or her other guests. You still can perform who that. This time, don't ask for a formal introduction. Simply pump the party giver for just enough information to launch you. Find out about the strangers, jobs, interests, or and hobbies. Suppose the party giver says, "Oh, that's Joe Smith. I am not sure what his job is, but I know he loves to sky. Aha, you have seen, you have been given the icebreaker you need. Now you make a beeline for Joe Smith. Hi, you are Joe Smith, aren't you? Susan was telling me what a great skier you are. Why do you sky? You get the idea. Technique number 13, it is the last technique we will ever talk about. So who's it? Who's it is the most effective list used by no politicians, meeting people, device ever conceived. Simply ask the particular to make the introduction or pump for a few facts that you can immediately turn into icebreakers. Now the third in our little trio of meeting who you want. See, that's it for today, guys. See you in the next video.